Hello everybody! Today we are going to look at Unit 2.1 Grammar section for intermediate level. The section is about present perfect and simple past tense. We are going to look at two different functions of present perfect tense, compare present perfect and past simple tense, then go on with some practice. Let's start. The first function of present perfect tense is about time up to now. That means present perfect tense describes actions that happen in our life before now. Let's look at the example. I have been to Thailand. In this sentence, we mean that my experience or this action happened in my life before now. Or she has taken part in many movies. She did this action up to now. So we don't tell the specific time. We just talk about the actions that happen in our life before now. With this function, we usually use two adverbs, never and ever. Never gives a negative meaning to the sentence. I have never been to Russia. This means I haven't been to Russia in my life before now. And ever is used in question forms. This form emphasizes whether you have done something or not up to now. Have you ever been to Russia? This question asks you whether you have been to Russia or not in your life before now. And the second part, or the second function of present perfect, is to describe recent events, events that happened a short time ago. For this function, we use four different adverbs. Let's start with the first one. The first adverb is just. Just means a short time before. I have just submitted my assignment. In this sentence, I submitted my assignment a short time ago. And the second adverb is already. Already means before now or earlier than expected. I have already watched that movie. This sentence means I watched that movie before now, or I watched that movie before you told it to me. Be careful about the places of just and already. They are used between auxiliary and the main verb. And the third adverb is yet. Yet means at any time up to now. It is used in question forms. Have you written your essay yet? In this question, you ask whether you have written your essay or not at any time up to now. And the last adverb is recently. Recently means lately. We have watched so much news recently. This tells us what we have done in the latest part or the recent part of our life. Okay, if you look at the place of yet and recently, you will notice that they are used at the end of the sentences. Now the next section is the comparison of present perfect and simple past tense. We use simple past tense for specific events happened at a specific time. Let's look at the examples. I went to Spain in 2004 and I read that book last year. Both of these events happened in the past and I tell their specific times in 2004 and last year. That means I need to use simple past tense. If I want to tell the same events without any specific time, then I can use present perfect tense. I have been to Spain or I have read that book. If you do not mention any specific time of an event, you can use it with present perfect tense. However, if you mention the specific time, don't forget, you need to use simple past tense. Now the next section is just a brief overview of the form of present perfect tense. I know all of you know the form, but just let's overview that part. Now present perfect tense is formed by using an auxiliary, have or has, and the past participle form of the verb. And how do we decide whether it is have or has? of course based on the subject. If you have the subjects he, she, or it, you use the auxiliary has. And if you have the subjects I, you, we, and they, you use the auxiliary have. And after that, you need to use the past participle form of the verb. Whether it is positive, negative, or question, you always need to use the past participle form. If you are not sure about the past participle forms of the verbs, please refer to your books, page 127. In that page, you can see both the past forms and the past participle forms of different verbs. Now, let's continue with some practice. In your first practice, you are expected to complete the sentences with either present perfect or past simple form of the verbs. Please pause your video now and try to complete the sentences. Here are your answers for those sentences. Now let's go on with practice 2. Again, please complete the sentences with either present perfect or past simple. And don't forget to pause your video now and try to do them. Here are your answers for the second practice section. Now, if you want to go on with further study, you can look at your supplementary B-level pack, page 33 and 34, exercises A, B, and C, or you can check out your My English Lab, or you can look at your Edmodo and you will see some extra study links there. And apart from these, if you want to do something regarding writing and speaking, you can think about an experience of yours, let's say a place you have been to, and you can write a short paragraph and talk about your experience for 2 minutes using your notes. Don't forget to use present perfect tense or simple past tense while you're writing or talking about your experience. That is all for today.